What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And this one I want to talk about what's going on with the overall market and break down some very important information about the Fed, how it's going to end up affecting the real estate sector, and then give you guys some very good potential plays for 2024, some very nice swing trades that could play out very nicely, in my opinion. But before I break anything down, let me just mention a few things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 6 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks plus 6 months of level 2 data. And putting in $25,000 or more guarantees you 70 free stocks plus 12 months of level 2 data. The offer ends in just about 3 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's talk about what's going on with the market. So on SPY, we were talking very recently about how there could be a possible pullback, but don't turn too bearish just yet. Let's wait and see if we lose some key support, if we continue to close below 470 going into Monday and beyond. So we're going to be watching that very carefully. With that going on, the market was very excited about the news about the Fed cutting, and especially Tesla. I mean, Tesla's just exploded ever since the news has come out. I can even show you the chart like right over here. But I think that a sector I don't really cover on this channel very much is like the real estate sector. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about that and how things are basically looking. So, is there going to be a housing crash? My answer to that is most likely, for the most part, no. I don't think housing is going to crash extremely hard. Nothing like 2008 or anything like that. But we are seeing demand getting hit, at least to some extent, and we're seeing supply just continuing to go up. So what's going to happen over time is there's going to be a shift in the housing sector, and this starts off not with the numbers, not with what people are talking about, but more towards the psychological effect that the Fed has on the markets, which is oftentimes trivialized and oftentimes looked past. So, what do I mean by that? Well, the Fed is coming out, and this is what's really big news. The Fed is saying that they're projecting 3 rate cuts in 2024. Now, could the Fed be seeing a recession? Could that be what the Fed is seeing, which is why they're suddenly announcing these cuts, because generally when the Fed cuts, that tends to be very close when we enter recessions. So do I think a recession is coming? Yeah, I think a recession is likely going to come in 2024, most likely, but I don't know the exact timing for sure. Okay. And I'm not referring to the recession that people talk about in terms of just pain in general. I'm referring to like the economic definition of it, which would be 2 consecutive negative GDP quarters. Okay. So unemployment is going to start going up more. There's going to be pain coming. I think everyone needs to be prepared for that just to be safe. And remember, the soft landing narrative has been said for decades, and the large majority of the time, it is not correct. All right, that's sad. I know it's horrible, but it is necessary during times like these. But the thing worth mentioning is that there's going to be pain, and I can really understand your frustration. I can understand your pain. It's not pretty. Okay, it's very horrible. I have a lot of empathy for people that lose their jobs or go through anything like that. But the bottom line is, don't lose hope, guys. We will recover. Things will improve. But when it comes to the Fed was telling us that, hey, they're going to be cutting rates very soon. So the market is saying there's a 62% chance they're going to give us a 25 basis point rate cut in March of 2024. And then in May, there's about a I don't think they're actually pricing in a cut just yet for May, but there's a good chance it's going to happen. At least one cut will be happening at least by May, is basically what this is saying. And then by June, this is saying that there's a 50% chance we'll have at least 2 cuts by June. So it's not like so focused on like June, July, and like that late into it. We're more focused on like March and etc. But basically, the market is excited. The market pumped off the news that the Fed could be cutting very soon for 2024. What does this mean for real estate? Well, the thing about real estate is that real estate is very slow. The reaction is very slow. We're not going to get an immediate surge in demand just out of nowhere because the rates are going to remain high for quite some time. But I do believe slowly but surely demand is going to start coming up. We're going to see a lot of buyers coming back in 2024. I believe that, and I think that this is kind of like brewing some opportunity for many of the real estate ETFs out there. So that's why I wanted to just talk about some opportunities because I see some really nice charts right now. I want to share them with you. These can easily make people a lot of money. And let me talk about how this could work. So I'm not giving any financial advice, by the way, guys. This is just like something that I'm eyeing, not telling you to buy or sell. But notice how when you look at some of these real estate, leveraged ETFs like DRV, for example, this thing historically over the last couple of years, it has a tendency of bottoming between, I think this is 28, around the 28 area, and also like around 30, 33, give or take. Where is it right now? Right now we're at 36, and we actually hit 33. So we're in that zone where this thing tends to bounce, and it happens to align with when the Fed is saying they're going to be cutting. That's a very interesting coincidence. What does this mean in English? I think that this ETF has major upside coming for 2024. I don't think it's going to explode. I think it's going to slowly uptrend. I think that nice money could be made. So once again, not financial advice, but if I were to hypothetically like play this, what I tend to do is I like to just get options as close to being in the money as possible, than just like what you could do is you could just get calls, for example, just for example, buy those calls uh, for later into 2024, whether it's May, August. You can even get 2025 ones. Those are just easily going to print, right? So you buy a bunch of calls and you have money on the side, which you're okay with just like keeping in a play for the next year or so. And then over time, you could build some very, very nice passive returns off of this, right? So hypothetically, let me see if I can recalculate this. Let's see if this works. So you could quite easily, like, let's just say you get like the $40 strike for August, and August is such a long time away from here, right? It doesn't even have to be that late. You can even get them for like May, but just to be safe, let's just say you get August, right? Your $2,000, uh, the amount of like capital you're going to put on this play, $2,000 could easily turn into, you can make $3,000 profit off of this if it actually reaches 50 by April. You could double your money by August as long as it reaches 50. And could this thing reach 50? Well, look at the historical pattern, okay? When the Fed cuts, this thing tends to run very fast. It could reach 50 within a month. That's like the crazy thing about this when it gets these like pushes to the upside. Once this thing is ready to reverse a bit, it could run really fast, really hard. It doesn't even have to reach 50 that quickly. It could just jump back to the 40s in just like a few weeks and you'll still make crazy money off of it. So this is going to bottom soon, okay? I'm very confident this is a good play. It depends on what the Fed says, but I think that the bottom is near and we're going to see a nice bounce. I think this gap at least is going to get filled over the next 4 months, maybe even sooner. So we have this, let me just show you this level, this support right over here, which aligns with our gap. So see how we have a very key level right here. We're going to likely come up and grab this area, and this wick is likely going to push this thing right back up on the daily time frame. So it's going to easily push up to 47 plus sometime in 2024. I would say in the first half, quite easily. And this is easy money, okay, to be honest with you. Not financial advice, but it's the truth. And this is just one of many other plays. But I think that, so I've been looking at like a lot of their real estate ETFs and their options chains. Most of them do not have really good options chains, but this is one of the best charts I found. The DRV, it's in a really nice opportunity spot. It's very opportunistic. There's DRN as well. This is also leveraged. Um, when I zoom out, I think it's going to pull back a little bit. But here's the thing. It's going to easily break out very soon. Look how this chart has been decimated because of the rate hikes by the Fed. When the Fed starts cutting, this is also going to start pushing up with the real estate sector. You're going to be looking for this breakout from this 14.24 area. Easily going to hit 20, in my opinion, next year. Easily, right? Easy way to double your money, triple your money if you just passively just put it in here and wait. Not financial advice, but a very, very easy play. You guys could do the same thing that I just did. You could go to like websites like Options Profit. This is optionsprofitcalculator.com. Calculate your potential profits. If you have like a spare $10,000 on the side and you just want to put like 2,000 into one little thing here and there, just hypothetically, right? Not saying you have to do it, but hypothetically, this is just an opportunity. And I just wanted to like call this out because this is a really good opportunity because now we know the Fed is planning on cutting soon. We know that the PPI report that came out on, I think it was Wednesday, that was below expectations. And the market ended up going bananas when that ended up coming out. So, with that being said, When PPI was low, this suggests that CPI is going to likely be decent. CPI is just continuing to fall. So there's a good chance that we have some nice plays, at least for the next 2024 that's coming up. We also have VNQ, I think is another one, the Vanguard one, the Vanguard Real Estate ETF. Now, this one is not in the best of places, but what's good about it is this is a lot more secure. So I see this pulling back basically. I think it's going to retest this high right here at this like 87 area. It could drop a little bit more, but just for fun, if you want to just like swing trade this, get in, get out kind of quickly, I could see this thing running to 94 again, even up to 102 going into next year quite easily. Easily, it's going to run at least 20 plus points, okay, over the next couple of months. All right. I think that's very probable. This is just another example. So you want to be paying attention to these. You want to be looking at the opportunities coming. I also have a prediction I want to make with everyone. So when you look at the cycles in the market, because the market moves in cycles, okay? When the market moves in cycles, sometimes you're going to find that certain sectors and certain stocks get decimated quicker than others and before others. So what led the market down? Excuse me. In my opinion, when you look at the chart, the IWM Russell 2000 was already dropping in 2022, but a lot of small caps and mid caps were already tanking in like 2021, for example, right? They were already tanking, and we already saw this thing start to tank back in like December 2021. This was tanking before SPY, before excuse me, before the Nasdaq, S&P 500, QQQ. This was tanking early, and I think that we have a really nice setup on daily time frame from this nice accumulation right over here. This is an accumulation that is forming. And I think that the chart looks bullish for 2024 overall. Now, with the recession coming, could this pull back just a bit? Yes, but I think that this is going to have a fast recovery. I think that this is going to be, recovering like crazy. We're going to get some really nice growth. I think that in spite of the recession, it could delay the big recovery to some extent, depending on the timing of it. But I'm still very bullish for the end of the year for the IWM, and I think it's going to have a very, very nice year. And I just want to call out that I think small caps and mid caps are going to be on. There's going to be a lot of opportunity with them when it comes to volatility and big runs. And we're going to see a lot of runners similar to what we saw in like 2021 and 2022. That's my view of the market. I think that 2024 is going to be uh, granting us more opportunities for small caps and mid caps. I think they're going to be making big moves. And I think that we're going to see some nice upside towards the end of 2024, especially. I think that many of these small caps are going to be outperforming the larger caps, mega caps, just like to some extent. So watch for opportunities in the small caps, guys. Those mid caps. Watch the IWM. I would recommend just keeping your eye on this. Very, very beautiful looking setup. I don't have anything drawn out because I just want to show you how well it's been holding its support. Just look at this accumulation right over here. I'm going to draw out this little rectangle right here just to show you. Look at how these buyers are just continuing to buy this thing up as they let this thing fall. They're continuing to hold it at support. This is a nice Wyckoff styled accumulation. It's going to uptrend as time goes on. 2024 overall will be very bullish for this. It's going to break out into the 200s very easily. We have a lot of gaps in the 200s to fill. It looks strong, looks great, and this is something I'm going to be watching for. Now, also watch this resistance, like right about here as well. Close to 200, basically, this 200 range tends to be very tricky, but like I said before, I think it's going to break it eventually. Could we get one more little pullback like this and some sideways price action for like a month or so? Sure. But later on into 2024, I'm especially bullish on the IWM. Mark my words, guys, it's going to run like crazy, especially during the second half of the year. Okay, so keep this in the back of your mind. Watch those small caps, watch those real estate ETFs that I was calling out, and look for the opportunities that are going to be brewing from this new news about the Fed cutting. There's so much more. I just barely scratched the surface at this point. And with that being said, I mean, I hope this video was helpful. I will be talking more about the other tickers as well. When it comes to Nvidia, let me just mention that Nvidia, I'm going to be very quick with this. It's looking strong right now, quite strong for now, but we're approaching some tight resistance. I remember 495 and also like 500 are going to be some tight resistance levels. I'm going to be paying close attention to them, and we'll see if we get some kind of like response from the sellers up there. So just be a little bit careful. Could be forming like a cup and handle. So if it does like come up here, we could retrace a bit before pushing up higher. But overall, Nvidia has a nice uptrend so far. There's no sign of this turning weak, and we'll be watching it very carefully. I'll be breaking down more details about it on Sunday alongside these other charts. But I just want to call out some very, very big plays. As far as SPY goes, like I said, showing some weakness. Uh, we closed below 470. We'll see if this happens on Monday. Tesla still looks strong. There's no sign of this thing breaking down yet to me. The bullish wedge forming. Could see more upside. It's not done just yet. It managed to break above 252, which is our previous high. It looks good. I'll be talking more in more detail about the charts later on, guys. For tomorrow, I just wanted to call out some of these. Anyways, that's it for this one. Hopefully this video was insightful, guys. I called out some more plays if you're interested in them. And basically, I just went over very briefly Tesla, Nvidia, and SPY. So I'll be talking more. And with that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please have a great day. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, everyone. And I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks again, and peace out.